Thanks to the supporters and channel member Ree Faraday. We've got 3 pretty important matches coming up, and they're all against Arsenal. The first and second legs of our round of 16 games in the Champions League and the Moose Cup final. And we're going to win them all. Hopefully. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 13 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have all these games against Arsenal. Just Arsenal. Since you were last with me, this is what's been going on. We've been spanked by Spurs again. With the last couple of... it's not the last couple of defeats. We also lost to Porto and Norwich, but we got spanked by Tottenham 4-1 there. We've been spanked by Tottenham 4-1 again. Whenever we go to Tottenham, we get spanked 4-1. Thankfully, we're never going to have to do it again. So that's a good thing. But this is what the league table looks like. We don't need to worry too much about getting spanked by Tottenham. They are our closest title rivals, but they are miles behind us because apparently they don't spank anybody but us. We have got these 3 matches against Arsenal, though. That is an Arsenal side that are down in 10th place in the Premier League. So you'd like to think it should be a team that we're capable of beating relatively comfortably. Fingers crossed. We've been here before in this series. Please, let's not go. I got so fed up of this stage of the Champions League with Juventus. It feels a lot like that tie against Napoli that we had a few seasons ago where we absolutely shouldn't have lost. Yet we did. Fingers crossed, that's not going to happen in this match. We've got Blanco in goal. A back four of Peralta, Corgi, Antunes and Malik. Bellingham at the base of the midfield. Jalili and Ramon ahead of him. Koné on the left. Jallo on the right. Borges up front. Let's get this team submitted, and for goodness sake, let's at least get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League, because for a man who's already won this tournament twice before in this series, I'm starting to think that I'm cursed in the Champions League somehow. Perhaps you're not allowed to win it 3 times with 3 different clubs. Perhaps that's too fancy, but it is us with the first attack of the game. Jallo and Borges combining on this right-hand side. Jallo's got the ball back again here, but gives it away to the Arsenal defender, but Malik in there with the tackle. Oh, goodness me, am I still impressed with Malik. Bellingham plays Ramon in, and what a goal from Ramon to open the scoring with the first attack of the game, really, certainly the first highlight. And it's an absolutely sensational finish from Ramon. Bellingham does very well to play him in. This is a lovely pass from Bellingham, but Ramon still has an awful lot to do. He's very wide. And, that's a tight angle to be sticking the ball into the top corner from, but that's exactly what he did. And that is exactly the start that we needed. 1-0 inside the first 10 minutes of the match. That'll do nicely. More of that, please. I'm having a look at that Arsenal team, trying to see if there's any of my former players in there. It doesn't look like there is. We did have a defender called Abad, but I don't think that was his first name. They've still got Jeremy Pino, of course, is one of my Streamer Showdown boys and was part of my Keverton team in the network game last year on Twitch. But it's mostly an Arsenal team full of new gens that I don't recognise. When we've played them relatively recently. They still have Martinelli and Saka in the team, but it looks like those days are now over. Borges is in here, knocks it down to Jallo. Now Jalili from range, and he's made it 2-0. And our central midfielders have decided to put on a show for us. It's 2-0. We did say this is an Arsenal team that have been struggling this season. They find themselves down in mid-table, as do Manchester City this season. It's been a tough year for both of those sides. Strangely, neither of them have sacked their manager yet. I think if I was down in 10th place, I'd have been sacked long ago. But the Arsenal manager, Zinedine Zidane, is surviving so far. Will he make it to the end of the episode, though, if we can beat him 3 times? That'd be very nice if we can do that. Jallo intercepts from the loose pass. There's still less than half an hour on the clock. If we can go 3-0 up, we can almost put this tie to bed here and now. Jalili on the edge there. He hits the crossbar and it's scrambled clear. And Borges was lurking, but not close enough to be able to tap it over the line to add our third. We have started this as we mean to go on. A very lively start from us. And Arsenal just look a little bit shell-shocked. I don't think they were expecting us to start quite at the pace that we have. 2-0 at half-time in this first leg. Just keep it going, lads. More of this. More. Let's get ourselves into this quarterfinal. I really want to end this series on a high. It's been, I think it's safe to say at this point, I've enjoyed this non-league to legend more than any I've ever done before. We've certainly had a very different kind of story to what we've had in the past, but I want it to end on a high. It won't quite be the same if we don't end it with a Champions League win. So that's what we're setting out today to do. Sen is going to come on for Jallo and go straight up front. Kone is also going to come off. We're going to bring Jean Carlos on this left-hand side. And we're also going to take off Corgi and bring on Kudimbana, swap those two over, and hopefully just keep things nice and fresh throughout the team. Just keeping an eye on fitness levels throughout. Ramon's tiring, Jalili's tiring, Bellingham's tiring. There's plenty of players who could come off here. I think Bellingham is probably an obvious one as the older statesman of the team. And then I think we take off Peralta for Pereira. That's an easy one because it's just a straight swap, like for like. Both players play left back. We've had a very quiet second half here. I'd feel a lot more comfortable going into the second leg if we could add a third before we were done here today. Filipov coming out of the defensive midfield position, trying to get something going, but he's actually... he didn't give the ball away. Ramon did, and then Ramon has won it back. So actually, he's done okay. Pereira, Jean Carlos combine to come away with the ball. And now Jean Carlos plays it into Sen, who gives it to Borges in acres of space, and Borges scores. Possible question mark over whether or not he's offside. The referee has got his finger in his ear. He looked like he was in an awful lot of space for a man who was onside, but it was a nice move. Let's just see what the referee has got to say about it. It has been given, and that is absolutely crucial. Huge credit to Ramon, Pereira, Jean Carlos, the three of them combining after a little bit of loose play to win the ball back deep. And then it was just a sweeping attack. Jean Carlos to Sen to Borges. And it's saying tight offside. Oh, blimey, that is a tight offside as well. But we will take it 3-0. That is very important. And I'm having a look down now at the current fixtures, current scores. I want to see if Preston are still in this. Preston are another team who, after starting the season so brightly, have fallen down to mid-table. They were 9th in the Premier League last time I checked. But, of course, my dream would be to end the series against Preston in a Champions League final. I don't even know if they're still in the tournament. Were they in the tournament at all? Where did they finish last year? They did finish second last year, didn't they? So they are in the Champions League. We saw them in the group stage doing very well. So... fingers crossed they can make it. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself in the round of 16 first leg. But I would love a Liverpool-Preston final because then whichever way that ends, we can end the series with a bit of a smile on our face. Obviously, we want to pick up the win, but half of you lot will want Preston to win. Borges has just made it 4-0, and that should be game over for the entire tie, really. We're back at Anfield in the second leg. We shouldn't be getting a 4-0 lead overturned in a home game in Europe, you would think. We have, of course, got the Moose Cup final to play in between as well. I'm not going to show you that. I'll just let you know how we get on in that. I don't think anybody needs to watch a Moose Cup game in season 17 of a YouTube series. But that is a very healthy lead to take into that second leg, and it doesn't look like Preston are playing yet. So at some point, they shall, and hopefully they shall win. All right, we are just entering into the final moments of the Carabao Cup final. It's 1-0 to us, although Arsenal have got the ball. I'd kind of started the video here in the hopes of just showing you the final kick and a trophy lift. If Arsenal score here, of course, we're going to have extra time and all sorts of shenanigans. But I think we are running the clock down. Clock has been run down, and we get a trophy lift. Look at some of the differences in heights of some of our players. It's magnificent. I'm taller than most of them. Look at me towering over everybody at the back. Here I come, look. Here I come. Anytime now. Oh, stand me next to the little guy, why don't you? I don't like the fact I don't get to stand on the stage for this one. But here we go. Trophy lift incoming. And come on. Crack on. Crack on. Not for the last time this series, hopefully. There we have it. Another trophy lift, which should... I don't know if we get any Hall of Fame points for the Carabao Cup. I'd be surprised if we did, but it should get us that little bit closer to Bob Paisley, who we are trying to chase down. I've just had a Steam achievement pop called World Renowned, so I think I've just made it into the Worldwide Hall of Fame, so we must get Hall of Fame points for that, actually. Let's have a little... declared one of the best ever. Let's check in on the Hall of Fame. So on the all-time worldwide one, I'm now in 19th place. Bob Paisley's 12th on that one, so we've got a long way to go to catch him. But for nationality of English, I don't know if winning everything for the rest of the season gets me level with him. I feel a little bit hard done by that we've now got exactly the same records. 6 domestic divisions, 6 domestic cups, 5 other club trophies. But if we can add another Premier League, another FA Cup, another Champions League, and a Club World Cup before the end of the series, surely that will be enough. Time will tell, I guess. Let's go play the second leg. So our team for the second leg then, we've got Blanco in goal, back for Peralta, Corgi, Antunes and Malik. Jaeger at the base of the midfield, Jalili and Ramon ahead of him, Kone on the left, Jallo on the right, Sen up front. Let's send a message to the rest of this competition. We already won 4-0 at, I guess it's still at the Emirates. I didn't actually check. I don't think they've moved stadium. Still, we won 4-0 at the Emirates in the first leg. We've just won at Wembley as well. Now we bring them back to Anfield and hopefully pick up a third win in a week over Arsenal. Although I've played enough Football Manager over the years to know the form we're in, the form they're in, the way the last couple of matches have gone. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we lost 5-0 and that was that, because Football Manager things. But hopefully it's not going to do that to us today. Jalili with the corner and Corgi scores a 9th goal of the season for him. For a guy who's not even that tall, he is weighing in with a pretty decent goal return for us this season from these set pieces, which once again should please the board very nicely. It looked like the guy managing the rig camera thing was playing on a Game Boy or something there. I've never noticed that before. There he is, look. You can just see him there. Look, he's not moved. He's really engrossed in a game of Tetris, I think, which is, I mean, keep an eye on that guy. See if he ever moves. I suspect he'll never move, but he is really enjoying playing on his little Game Boy. Having a whale of a time. Right, Peralta to Jaeger, across to Jalili, who we know he's got a pass on him, finds Jallo, and now Sen back to Jalili. In fact, Jalili miscontrols it, and Arsenal have got the chance to break. But Malik, once again, oh, what a signing that boy was. I'm never going to stop going on about it. It was the big weakness in the squad last year, and look at him go, charging up and down the right-hand side. It's a beauty of a cross, and Kone hits the crossbar with the header, and that was a big chance for us to go 2-0 up on the night. 6-0, that would be on aggregate. Just checking on the guy with the Game Boy again. He has not moved still. There he is, look. This guy next to him, it's just kind of peeking over. Why do you need 2 guys to do the camera rig, which incidentally also never moves? We need moving camera rigs behind the goal. That would be, it's not even where is it pointing? It's pointing over here. What is that filming? Is it certainly not filming the goal, the pitch? I mean, I know graphics aren't that important to Football Manager, but what? Talk me through this situation with this camera that 2 people are controlling and neither of them have managed to point it at the football pitch. I don't understand what's going on. Right, Ramon. Oh, what a pass from Ramon for Sen. Sen doesn't quite have the legs. I mean, he's not there for his blistering pace, but it was a lovely pass. There's certainly the right idea, and Sen not quite able to capitalise on it. Jaeger playing it back to Blanco, and that's ridiculous. The words were about to form from my mouth. I don't like us doing this in this situation. Too much tappy tap tap around, especially when it involves poor old Antunes, who is not built for this at all. And yeah, that. I mean, it's absolutely Blanco's fault. I don't know why he's trying to go back to Antunes again, but there's a time and a place, lads, and this is neither. Right, Jallo's going to come off. Borgia's going to come on. We're going to make a bunch of changes. You know the score here. We're going to bring on Pereira, and I think we're also going to get Jude Bellingham on in midfield just to have his experience. He's been there, done that, etc., etc. Just get Bellingham on, just to calm everything down in the midfield. We're at 1-1. It's still 5-1 to us on aggregate. We don't want to panic, let Arsenal back into this game in any way. We're happy to just see this up. We don't need to win on the night. We're quite happy with things as they are. Jean Carlos can come on as well. And then I think we're also going to bring on Harvey Elliott in central midfield. Again, experience. He's played hundreds upon hundreds of games for Liverpool, as has Bellingham. Probably close to 1,000 games for Liverpool between those 2 players at this point of the save. And just ease us over the finish line. And that's exactly what they've done. I mean, we've made a bit of a meal of it. More difficult than it was supposed to be. But the important thing is we're in the hat for the next round. And that is all that really mattered. Are Preston going to be joining us? It's looking like they are. Preston and Tottenham and Barcelona. Juventus have been knocked out by Barcelona. Juventus just may as well give up at the round of 16 every year. But there is still the opportunity for a number of dream finals. 8 teams left in the tournament, and 3 of them are teams I used to manage. We'd like the Preston final. We'll take any of them. I mean, we could conceivably have to beat all 3 of them to win the tournament. Wouldn't that be a thing? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.